welcome to viewers joining us now on Billiard Tube. This Taom V10 Helsinki Open. We're up to losers qualification. So any more losses from now and you are out of the event. John Morra trying to stay alive in this one. And Joonatan Kurppa trying to be the man that knocks him out. But at the moment, there's been a few mistakes, but it's John Morra who is taking advantage. And it's Joonatan to break.
Back 6.
Just see if he continues this unusual break of hitting the front ball, almost like a 10 ball or an 8 ball break, and just trying to make a ball. This time it does look like he's cutting it a bit more, so he might be trying to make the one in the middle, as you see most of the pros do. Yeah, he did try it. They still hit it high. That's been a feature so far. His breaks, one ball going high. And he'll be disappointed with the outcome here. Everything's come in the open, but he hasn't made a ball. And John will try to mop these up. And if you are a follower of Paul, and you're watching John Morra for the first time in a little while, you'll notice he's changed back to playing with his right hand. So he is right-handed. Back about 2018, 2019, he had a shoulder injury, which meant he could no longer really play the game right-handed. So he switched and learnt how to play left-handed. And he's been playing left-handed since that time. And even left-handed, he was still one of the highest ranked players in the world. It's just incredible, really. It wasn't natural to him. But just in the last month or so, he switched back. So shoulder feeling better, maybe. Or he's learned how to deal with it. So that's got to be worrying for all his competitors. He's now going to be playing with his better arm, considering how good he was with his left. I remember also he was still breaking with his right hand, even playing left-handed, just because he just could not develop the strength. But it hurt him every time to do that. But yeah, it seems like it might be the worst is over for him. Had to play a good recovery pot there. He was a long way away from that 6. And his middle pockets aren't that easy. Players will avoid them if they can. Now just one more good one to the top left. He should be home and dry.
John Morra wins the rack.
5-1 up now, John Morra. More than halfway there, and starting to get more and more comfortable in this match after a shaky start. Don't forget the iconic Mosconi Cup returns to the Alexandra Palace in December this year. And as I've been saying a few times now, we have increased the capacity. There's going to be another 1,000 people, spectator seats available every single day, so the noise there is going to be unreal. December 3rd to the 6th. If you are a WNT TV subscriber, you will get a priority access window to buy your tickets before everybody else. That opens on the 7th of May. And then your general sale tickets will open up on the 8th of May. So if you want to guarantee your tickets, make sure you sign up to WNT TV. You'll be happy to see the 2 go in. There's a good chance it was going to be covered by these balls at the bottom right, but now it's gone in, he's got a chance. So he's found homes for the 1 and 2. Just got to cut back this 3 ball to the top right. But he's overcut it on this occasion. Not a bad leave. Joonatan would just be happy to get back to the table, considering the last couple of racks just ran away from him. Went attacking. I didn't know if you could see enough of it. He just caught the lower point of the pocket. Maybe trying to force the issue. There's a little shake of his head. Sat down in his chair. Great bank from John. Felt that was the easiest shot on the table. Allowed him just to hold the white. Otherwise it was running around if he tried to cut the 3. It's looking ominous for Joonatan now. Didn't take advantage of John's early errors, and now John isn't really making any. Slams the 8 in with authority, and now a very simple 9. And he's racing ahead. WNT taking over America for most of August this year. What a fantastic few weeks we got there, with ranking events and major events back to back. Starts July 31st with the rally in the Shenandoah Valley, and then on August the 5th it's the inaugural Florida Open Pool Championship taking place in Orlando, in exactly the same location that the Moscone Cup was in last December. It's a fantastic venue. We're really looking forward to that. That's followed immediately by Battle of the Bull in Virginia, and then the Blue Ribbon event, August the 18th to the 23rd, the US Open Pool Championship in Atlantic City once again. Harrah's Resort will be looking after us. Do you think we'll ever see another USA versus USA final as we had last year with Fedor and Shane? Then that's followed finally on August 29th, the McDermott Classic in Massachusetts. Back here, Johnson scratched on the break, and he has not been breaking well at all. I don't think he's made a ball on any of his breaks, and that's been one of the biggest reasons he's so far behind. When you're not first in, it's very difficult. That hasn't gone very well. I'd be disappointed he's misjudged that. So forced to play safe, but he may have not found the cover. It does look like he's left this. There's a big line of balls, 5, 7, 9, 6, to find his way behind, but he hasn't done it. Johnson really needs to make something happen now. He showed early on he could clear an open table no problem, so he just needs to carry on doing that. There's much more pressure when you're so far behind, obviously. Just wriggled in. Oh, he may have, yeah, he may have blocked himself, and he has. That's because he misjudged the pot. So the white came off at a different angle. Never meant to go anywhere near the black 8. So 2 cushions. To hit the 6, he's failed. And that's ball in hand for John. He won't believe his luck, really. You can see the body language of Joonatan. He's not happy with how he's playing at the moment. And mentally as a player, that's one of the hardest things you have to deal with when you're struggling yourself. 9 disappears. 7-1 John. A little bit later on after this match, we'll see on the TV table Stuart Bingham will be back trying to get through, loses qualification after defeat to Piers Labutis yesterday. Piers defeated him, I believe it was 9-3. But Stuart's first match that we saw on stream, very, very comfortable and a really good match. 9-8, he came through that one. He'll be playing Ernesto Gioni later on today. Trying to get through to that last 32. Already through via the winners' qualification rounds. FSR, Elliot Sanderson, Duong Kok Hwang, Arseny Sevastoyanov, Niels Fayen, Ralph Suke, Petri Mäkinen, Mark Maggi, Piers Labutis, Riku Rompinen, who put on probably the performance of the week so far yesterday against Claudio Cacci, Christian Serdier, Jonas Suto, Quinton Pongers, who defeated Naoki Oi in day 1
John Morra
with a fantastic
7
performance.
racks for 1.
Mark Beister-Bosch, Dennis Grabber and David Al-Qaedi. So all those players will be in the last 32 later on today. And everybody else is fighting to join them. Carl Nanderberg is currently 8-4 up on Julian Serradilla. So he's looking likely to be the first person through losers qualification. But it's not all over there, obviously. John finds the one inside again. Once again, he runs the object ball into another ball, trying to play us safe. Been very common in this match. But he hasn't really been punished. Joonatan will just be playing the 2 up to the 5 to hold it. The advantage of that being you know exactly where the object ball's going to stop. So you know where you've got to put the cue ball. And even so, it's still a bit short this time. It's a good pot, but he's going to be behind the 5. So he needs to come with a good jump now. Hasn't made it. And he seems resigned to his fate. Arms crossed. And now everything seems to be going right for John. Even though he missed the bank, he found cover. We hope you're enjoying the coverage here. This preview on YouTube, BilliardTube channel. These matches on the TV table. Exclusive to WNT TV. You can go to WNTTV.com to subscribe if you want to see the remaining matches on the TV table today. Stuart Bingham coming up next. And then the last 32 later on. We play down to the last 8 today before the final day tomorrow. The other benefits of subscription, of course, as I've mentioned before, is the early access to tickets for the biggest events like the US Open, the Florida Open, and of course the Mosconi Cup. Early bird sale tickets for the Mosconi Cup, May the 7th, and 1,000 extra seats every single day this year. John just a couple of balls away from getting to the hill. On the outside tables, Carl Naderberg is 2 balls away from finishing the job. Being the first man through on the losers qualification. John Morra does sink the 9. And is now just 1 away. And I can tell you, Carl has finished the job. He is the first man through losers qualification. He will join all those other names in the last 32. Some other scores from around the tables at the moment. Jani Saikinen is 5-2 up on Eero Rompinen. The young German Felix Vogel, 7-4 up on Adam Mashish. Great Polish player, Adam. I'd never really seen him play before. I watched him a couple of matches. Very, very handy. It looks like he's going to make that 7-5 there. JJ Fallen, Ravo Memra, locked at 4-4. That's a tight one. Boris Ivanovsky, 7-2 up on Ilkka Kangas.
Back to 10. Joonatan Kurppa, break. Trade
Joonatan Kurppa, who has not been breaking well this match, comes again. He's been hitting the one very full, hitting it very high. Does so again, but he hasn't made a ball on any break, I don't believe. And it's the same story. 4, 5 and 9, little cluster, a problem. It's going to be very interesting to see what John can do over the next year or so. Now we switch back to right-handed play after being top 16 with his left hand. Due to that shoulder neck injury he's carried for many years.
Foul. Forward hand.
The cue ball just slowly rolling towards that bottom corner and almost inevitably falling in. And now John has the chance to break up this cluster with ball in hand. Just on his last stroke, he just stood up, wasn't happy with the angle he'd left to break the cluster and stay on the 2, so he's just moved it and reset. Turns his nose up at what he's left, really. Knows he should have freed them up a bit better. But he's still at the table. He can still make something happen. Yeah, he needed to get where he's got to with the cue ball in order to leave an angle to break that cluster up again, and in doing so makes the pot more difficult, and he's just missed it. But this is now do or die time for Joonatan. Going to fluke it, maybe? Or he's just going to leave a hanger. Joonatan was one of the first people practicing this morning, so he knew he had a tough match ahead. He was looking forward to it. He'll come back from this, no doubt. Well, that's not too bad. And the 8 looks like it blocked the 4. Does lend itself to a combo if he wants to play it, but the cue will be flying. Oh, this time he doesn't make it. Lifeline, Joonatan. Slow drag shot to land in the gap. It's never over till it's over, but John won't be too worried yet. He's going to have plenty more chances, you'd think, just to close this one out. Joonatan will be happy. He's been able to get his hand on the table and clear these up. He's only really had one proper opportunity in the last few racks. This is the first event in a trio of big events on WNT. So this event concludes tomorrow. And then just a couple of days later, we will have the Scottish Open up at the fantastic McGoldrick's Club in Glasgow, where Duong Quoc Huang won his title last year, defeating Oscar Dominguez in the final. Duong Quoc Huang's first WNT title. And then, of course, that's followed a few days later, May the 6th, the UK Open, Robbie Capito defending his title.
Back 11. John Morra 3. Lead 8 racks to 2.
John scratches on the break this time and leaves a relatively open table.
All in hand.
Just rack by rack, if Johnson can start to come into this, it starts to put doubt in the mind of the player who's ahead. These look very simple. It's a bit different when any miss and you're out in the tournament. So he just needs to take some care, make sure he gets out past these balls, which he does so. Just flipped the 7 on the way, but didn't hit it anywhere near full enough to cause any problems. So mid-table, he'll be aiming for with the cue ball here. 2 cushions. It's just running. It's just overrunning. This could have been easier. He looks to the skies. Can't believe he's done that. He had a lot of room to land. Still should be okay. It's just he's made it more difficult for himself and now needs to play with maybe a little bit of running side. He's absolutely fine, recovered very well.
Joonatan Kurppa wins the rack.
And as he goes back to his chair, having made the clearance, he'll just be thinking about how he's going to hit this next break, which has been the bane of his game really today. Hasn't made a ball. If he continues in the same vein, you'll see he hits it very full. He'll attempt to make more balls move, which means he can control the cue ball a bit more. But he's relying on a bit of luck to make a ball, and so far he hasn't had any of it. You can sort of see why these pros adopt the hard cut break instead, when you see how unsuccessful another tactic can be.
Rack 12. Joonatan Kurppa break. 3 leg game, rack 3.
Again, he's maybe cutting this a bit more. So he might be trying it. Just hit the top point. That's the closest he's got to making the one ball. Cue ball just holds up before dropping in the pocket, so it's okay. But advantage John Morra. Makes that first ball brilliantly. So the key now in this rack is going to be getting from the 4 to the 5. The 9 ball, just blocking the natural path that you'd want to leave the cue ball on, to leave an angle to go up top. So after potting the 3, John will want to be probably right on this bottom cushion. It's going to be the best place for him. And he thundered that in, trying to get a bit forwards, but he's massively overrun that position. So all of a sudden, this is tricky. Should be okay with the pot, but it's getting a good position on the 4. Cue ball's going to have to run here. It's the sort of shot you're okay with the 8-3 up though. Oh, did not want to catch that, obviously. So you can only really see the right hand side of this ball. Is he going to try and go cushion rail first and cut it in? I think he is. I think he missed that completely. Yeah, referee calls a foul. Johnson has a chance here from 8-1. Eight one down. If you can make it 8-4, John will start tomorrow. He looks pretty cool and calm in his corner at the moment, though. Felix Vogel has just beaten Adam Ashish with a golden break at the last to win that one 9-6. The young German
Joonatan Kurppa wins the round.
joins the other elite athletes on the last 32. Starts a bit later on today. Johnson completes the clearance there to make it 8-4. Elsewhere in the room, and don't forget you can watch any of these matches on the Billiard Tube YouTube channel. Every table has a camera. So elsewhere, Jani Uski is 7-1 up on Jonas Kota. Looking to be going good there, Jani. Juha Malinen and Kasper Matkainen locked at 5-5. Over on table 7 there. JJ Fall, 6-5 up over Revo Mayra. They've been locked close all the way through. And Boris Ivanovsky is currently 8-4 up on Ilkka Kangas.
Just straighten out the rack. Just got it a bit tilted this way. See what I'm saying?
You think that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
If
okay. Yeah,
you
sure.
stand back and look, you can see it.
Yeah, sure, it's just tweaked. Thanks.
Yeah.
And after this match, on table 1, we'll be returning to the exclusive coverage on WNT TV. So you can subscribe if you haven't already, WNTTV.com. Only $100 for the whole year, $10 a month, or the equivalent currency in your country, obviously. Stuart Bingham's match will be next. So he tries to get through losers qualification.
Thanks.
Some of the other players that will be playing in losers qualification at the same time. Naoki Oi, who was defeated spectacularly by Quinton Pongers day 1. Claudio Cacci, who fell to Riku Rompinen yesterday. Victor Zelinsky, and many others. John Morra with a perfect break. He just wants the 8 ball to stop, to leave him a shot at the 3, and I think it has held up. Yeah, he's definitely got a line through to the 3 ball. Nothing Joonatan can do now. He just needs to hope and pray that John gives him an opportunity. Maybe he's overhit this. I think he's just about okay. He had a big area to land in. And he has just. So he just needs to hold himself together. A little bit of composure and he'll be safely through. Yeah, John comfortable to leave this to the side pocket. You can just float across for the 9. And that is absolutely perfect. Now Joonatan knows his event is over. But he put up a very good fight from 8-1 down. The comeback looked like it was starting, but John stops it in its tracks and comes through that one 9-4. So next match in 15-20 minutes or so, as I say, exclusively on WNTTV.com. We'll see you there.
Good luck next one.
Thank you, Ray.
These predator tables are hard to me because I train on many times. I don't really talk, you know. But we're working with them at the time.
Oh, really?
We have only diamonds.
Yeah.
And then I can hear it's
Yeah.
so different table.
Right. It's a lot more colder up there, huh?
Yeah, yeah. But now it's, yes, last week was 20 degrees.
Really?
But now, yeah, but now it's all the close to 0.
Yeah.
But the winter was so bad too.
I'm sure, yeah.
There is no snow in the east or north even.
No snow?
Yeah, really, really near. It's
So So that's a bad winter? If there's
Yeah.
no snow?
That is bad because you will not even skiing
Right, right, right.
east where we have a few tahko in where you can ski.
Nothing to do in the winter.
Yeah.
Bored.
Yeah, exactly. When it's bad
Depression.
winter, always is cold summer.